Hi everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Tips with Kimberbell. And today I have Emily with me.
Hello everybody.
Emily is fabulous. She's got all these great tricks up her sleeve. So I wanted her to share this tip with me today because she's actually got a tip of her own within this tip. So she's going to show that to us later on, and it's a great idea. I love it. I never would have thought of it. So way to go. All right. So to get started today, we want to see who's out there, who's joining us. Have we got anybody?
I'm Heidi, just jumped on.
Heidi, hi.
Yep, we have Elizabeth from, how do I say that? Guthrie, Oklahoma? What would you think that is? Guthrie?
Guthrie.
Oklahoma.
Oh, why hello.
We have Darlene.
Darlene.
Chrissy.
Oh, thank you all for
Yeah.
joining us.
Fun
Sounds like
people
from
with
all
us.
over the country.
Yeah.
Oh, so this past weekend, my son got married. I was so excited. And he actually married Kim's niece. So now Kim and I related through marriage. It's kind of really fun. I love it. All right, so today we're going to talk about bows, tying bows, and we're talking especially about the bow that's right here on the quilt and how that is done. It's done a slightly differently, but easily done. And for those of you who say, I'm all thumbs up when it comes to trying to tie a bow, that's sometimes the hard thing to do. You're like, oh, I don't want to put a bow on there because then it means I have to tie the bow. Well, we're going to show you some helpful hints and tips on how to tie the bow that you're going to just love. And I've got a couple of examples here, but first I want to talk a little bit about the stabilizer. And I used medium cutaway. Definitely you could use a lighter cutaway. And right here, I just love these slap braces, don't you? And so you do the, use your stabilizer, roll it back up, voila.
Perfect.
You never misplace them, right where they are.
Or get them mixed up.
Yes. Also, the other thing I do is the stabilizer, the fusible on the back. Very important to keep it nice and flat, right? All right, so on this particular block, these are sewn in. Your crochet trim is what it is called. Now, I like to leave it a little bit longer than the 1/8 of an inch because I don't want to accidentally yank it out while I'm tying. Okay, so I've got two here. So Emily's going to tie one, and I'm going to tie one. What I like to do is tie the bow first, or tie a knot first. Excuse me. So I go and I tie one, kind of like you're tying a gift, and I kind of keep it opposites like this. And then you're going to tie it one more time. Now, I know that you mentioned when
It's a little tricky with one hand.
Yes, it does. And I know that you mentioned when you tie this, you want to end with your wrong sides
facing
up, right? So that when you make your bow, you see the right side of your bow. Okay, so we would proceed to tie a bow. Let's see.
Try and get all your right sides facing up.
There you go, yeah. Let's see. I'm doing it, I'm left-handed, so I'm wanting to come from the top instead of the bottom. Look at you, faster than me. I look like I can't even tie a bow anymore. Okay, well, that didn't work very good. I have a better solution. This is what we're gonna try. And I do wanna mention one other thing. If you have yours already tied, your bow, you trim it, then you take the block out of the hoop and then cut your block down. Much easier. If you already take this out of the hoop and you have these ribbons hanging and you're trying to scooch them in the middle and trim your block, you don't want to accidentally cut one of these. So I find it easier to tie the bow while it's in the hoop. It's holding it for you. You don't have to.
Stability.
Right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to here where we first tied our knot, wrong sides up, and we're going to show you a little trick here. So if you have somebody that can help you, family member, a friend, or somebody, what you're going to do, I'll do this, and you do the bow tying part. I'm going to put her on the spot here. So I just hold it down, and she's going to actually go across my fingers, and then she's going to crisscross it underneath. Can you see that hole right there underneath? So go ahead and go around my fingers.
This one goes under. Correct. And then this one.
You loop them both.
Oh, I loop both.
Yeah. So across my fingers with a hole with one, all the way across, and then all the way, there you go, all the way across with the other. And you can see it's going to crisscross, and you're going to crisscross it and tuck one underneath, the top one underneath the whole ribbon. So then we've got both ribbons coming, and now you're going to tie the two together. You see that? And it makes a perfect bow every time, and it keeps perfect, and it keeps everything on the top so you can see all of the right stuff, right?
So then all
Love
your right
that.
sides end out.
So cute. Look how cute that bow turned out. I love this. And you can see everything is all on the right sides the way you want it, and you simply trim the two ends. All right, we're going to show you how you can actually take that now and apply it in another scenario. So I'm going to borrow Emily's fingers, and there's a right and a wrong side. Same concept. You wrap it around both fingers, and on the bottom side, you're going to crisscross it. And when you crisscross it, I'm going to do the bow towards me. You crisscross it on the bottom, and then you're going to just tie a knot. Now when you tie the knot, it's important to twist the one so that their right sides are out, okay? And then I'm going to slide it off your fingers. Sorry. And voila, there's your bow. No time at all, perfect bow every time.
Yep.
Now you'll be able to find that you can, if you feel like one side is a little bit bigger loop than the other, you can actually adjust that back and forth. But the ties, once you've tied those, they stay. And that's what holds them in place. All right. Emily has another trick for us, so we're going to watch Emily's trick if you're by yourself, right?
Yes, so this is for if you're by yourself, you don't have someone with some fingers handy for you
You're
to
on
use.
quarantine here, right?
You're on
You're
quarantine.
making your quilt, you're on quarantine.
Something that we have done before is use whatever you've got around. So we had some expo markers sitting here. So pencils, maybe you have some chopsticks, a point turner, whatever you have that you can use. And then you can tape them off the edge of your table. So we just have a little bit of
you
paper
tape them according to the size you want.
So the different width and the different how big your utensil is, I guess, will also change the size of your bow. So if you wanted a little smaller, maybe find something a little skinnier. So we're gonna put these, just tape them down, and just like you do with the fingers, you wrap it around.
Just wrap it around.
Cross them over,
Let's see.
and then you'll tuck it down through.
Oh, right through there.
Between
Gotcha.
your two.
Whoops.
Didn't tape these very well, so.
So you might want to tape them twice.
Yeah.
Once at the top, once at the bottom. Okay, but the same concept.
And then you tie your knot and make sure your right sides end up. And
Okay, and I'm trying to tie it towards you guys this time to make sure I'm like legitly doing
And
that.
then you can just
Take that off.
slide those right off.
Oh, and I
She's
made,
gone the other way.
yeah, because it gets fatter at the bottom.
Yeah. And then you just slide that right off, and that same idea, and then tighten up this.
Tighten up the
ribbon a little
bow,
bit.
fix it a little bit. I love that.
And just
That's a great idea if you're by yourself. That is such a great idea. And look at all these bows. Look how great and look how quick and easy. They weren't like a ton of work. They were super easy to do, and they all face the right direction. How hard is that? That's a fun one to take care of, right? No worries about your bows anymore, you guys. You've got this. All right, so that's our bow. We were wondering if anybody had any questions on tying bows or any other ideas that they can type in. That would be great.
We do have one question
Okay.
about bows.
Okay.
They are wondering if you could use this same trick with twine.
I'm so glad you asked that question. Absolutely, yes. That's exactly how we would tie our twine. Now, if you're tying, like you said, chopsticks, those little tiny bows, definitely the chopsticks would work perfect. When you tape them down, tape them a couple of times and get those chopsticks really kind of close together so they're little tiny bows. Excellent question. Yes, you can. Exact same technique. Yes. Any other questions?
No questions, but we did have a few people congratulate you.
Oh,
for
well,
the
thank
wedding,
you. Thank you.
which
Thank
I
you
thought
so
was
much.
so fun. And then we also had someone that I know we're all jealous about. Her name is Cindy, and she said, "Aloha from Maui."
Oh my
man.
goodness.
Yes,
Aloha to
aloha.
Cindy.
Yes. Yes. And the funniest thing about my son, they met here at Kimberbell.
They did.
Yes. So that was just a match made at Kimberbell. There you go. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week.
Bye.